Europe. The year is 1095 AD. Disease stalks the street. Kings feud. Lords scheme. When night falls, peasants bar their doors and whisper prayers, hoping God is listening. What if the old stories were true? What if demons, revenants, witches, and things older than scripture walked the earth? Welcome to Sword and Crescent, a dark historical fantasy campaign setting for Rolemaster Unified. Over the past several months, I've been working on something that has turned into a much bigger project than I originally intended. Sword and Crescent is a tabletop campaign setting set during the time of the First Crusade. It blends real history, real culture, and real religious traditions with a layer of dark fantasy and supernatural horror. The goal is to capture what life may have felt like in medieval Europe, where faith shaped daily life. The world was harsh and uncertain, and people believed the supernatural was real. But in this setting, some of those fears might actually be justified. So far, I've written over 100 pages of material. That's before the actual campaign even begins. Right now, the project is being built two ways simultaneously. First, as a traditional tabletop campaign setting, and second, as a Foundry virtual tabletop campaign. The idea is to create something that feels historically grounded and deeply atmospheric for players exploring the world of the First Crusade. Because this setting takes place during a period where faith was central to daily life, it draws on the real historical presence of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and other traditions that shaped the medieval world. But the supernatural elements of this project belong entirely to the fictional narrative of the game setting. The goal isn't to reinterpret or challenge anyone's beliefs. It's to tell a respectful, atmospheric story set in a complicated and fascinating historical period. I'll be honest, this project has become a bit of a rabbit hole. The history of the First Crusades is incredibly fascinating, but the sheer amount of material to read through and sort through is enormous. What fact, what location, what person do I include? But if I put it all in there, it's going to be a 12,000 page omnibus and nobody's going to read that. It means the whole thing is probably going to be a long term labor of love, especially since I'm basically building the whole thing myself. If you end up enjoying the project, if you're intrigued, want to know more, please follow me on these channels. I will be posting updates. You can also go to Patreon, follow the link below, connect to the Dice at the Table channel. But honestly, right now I'm mostly excited just to start sharing the project with people. So I'll leave you with a question. If you lived in Europe in 1095, and word spread that God himself has called for a crusade to reclaim the Holy Land, would you take the cross? This is Sword and Crescent, and this is only the beginning.